Have you ever wondered if it's truly possible to speak English fluently without a teacher, a classroom, or even a conversation partner? What if the secret to confident speaking was already hidden in your daily life, waiting to be unlocked in your morning routine, your grocery trip, or even while brushing your teeth? In today's story, we explore a powerful yet surprisingly simple method that has helped countless learners speak English every day, anywhere, even when they're completely alone. By the end, you might just realize that fluency isn't a far-off dream, it's a habit you can start building today. In a world where language fluency often seems reserved for those with access to expensive classes or native speaking environments, a quiet truth is often overlooked. The key to speaking English fluently lies in simple, consistent daily practice. The story begins with a surprising idea that speaking English every single day, even for just 5 minutes, can be more powerful than hours of silent study. It doesn't require perfect grammar, a language partner, or a trip abroad. It simply requires one thing: action. Imagine starting your morning not with silence, but with self-talk in English. As you get out of bed, you say, "I'm getting up now, I feel a little tired." When you walk to the window and open it, you whisper, "It's a beautiful morning." These small, seemingly unimportant sentences are actually the foundation of spoken fluency. Why? Because they train your brain to think in English, not just memorize it. The more you use English to describe your world, the less you rely on your native language for translation, and the faster you become fluent. This method works no matter who you are or where you live. Maybe you're shy, maybe you don't have someone to practice with, or maybe no one around you speaks English at all. None of that matters. You can still speak to yourself, to your mirror, to your dog, or even to your coffee cup. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is to speak. And as this story shows, daily repetition builds a speaking habit stronger than any textbook ever could. Let's say you're brushing your teeth. That's a moment to say, "I'm brushing my teeth. The water is cold." When you're choosing your clothes, "I'm wearing a blue shirt today." Even these basic observations help reinforce vocabulary and sentence structure naturally. You're not forcing learning, you're living it. This idea that speaking English daily, in small but regular ways, can completely transform your fluency might seem too simple to be true. But as countless learners have discovered, it's exactly this simplicity that makes it so powerful. Just like learning to play an instrument or training for a sport, it's not about big, dramatic sessions. It's about small, consistent effort every day. So, if you've ever doubted your ability to speak English confidently, remember this: you don't need permission, and you don't need perfection. All you need is the willingness to speak aloud every day, even if you're the only one listening. That's where fluency begins, not in a classroom, but in your own voice. And this story is just the beginning of that journey. Once you embrace the idea that fluency begins with simple, daily speaking, the next step is to look around and realize that your everyday life is full of opportunities to practice. You don't need to set aside special time or wait for the perfect moment. Your morning routine, your chores, your commute, they're all rich with chances to speak English naturally. The key is to shift your mindset. Stop thinking of English as something separate from life and start making it a part of life itself. Let's go back to a normal morning. After getting out of bed and describing how you feel, you head to the bathroom. This moment, like all others, becomes a speaking opportunity. Say to yourself, "I'm brushing my teeth. I need to wash my face. I feel refreshed." These aren't textbook examples. They're real, usable English phrases that help your brain link language to action. This daily repetition rewires your thinking patterns, helping you build fluency without the stress of grammar rules or long vocabulary lists. As you move through the house, English moves with you. When you get dressed, say, "I'm putting on my jeans. I need to find my socks. This shirt is too tight." You can even turn it into a conversation with yourself. Ask questions like, "What should I wear today?" and answer, "Maybe something warm, it looks cold outside." These question and answer practices are powerful because they mimic real conversations, preparing your mind to respond quickly and naturally when speaking with others. The kitchen, too, becomes a classroom. While making breakfast, describe each action. I'm boiling eggs, I'm pouring tea, I like sweet bread. These simple statements bring English into your life without needing a teacher. They give purpose to your vocabulary and meaning to your sentences. And most importantly, they help you think in English, something no grammar book can fully teach. Throughout the day, continue turning your surroundings into English sentences. On your way to work or school, look around and speak your thoughts. There's a lot of traffic, I see children walking, the sun is shining today. By noticing your environment and verbalizing your observations, you train your brain to switch into English mode automatically. Even your chores become practice. Washing dishes? Say, this plate is dirty, I need more soap. Folding clothes? These pants are clean, I'll put them in the drawer. These moments may seem small, but when repeated day after day, they build a natural rhythm in your speech. In truth, your life is the perfect language lab. You don't need special tools, just awareness and intention. By adding English into your daily actions, you create a full-time learning environment that works without interrupting your routine. This is how fluency is built, not in isolated lessons, but in living moments. And when you realize your whole day is filled with chances to speak, you begin to see English not as a subject to study, but as a language to live. Once you begin turning daily routines into speaking opportunities, the next natural step is to explore how to make your speaking practice more structured and effective, even when you're practicing alone. Everyday activities offer plenty of chances to talk, but to truly grow, you need the right techniques, tools that help you build fluency, rhythm, and confidence. This is where simple but powerful speaking methods come in: self-talk, voice recording, reading aloud, and shadowing. Let's start with self-talk, a method already introduced when you speak while cooking or doing chores. But now take it further. Instead of just saying what you're doing, start adding your feelings and thoughts. For example, I'm making coffee. I feel tired today. I hope I can finish my work on time. These additions turn mechanical speech into meaningful language. You're not only naming actions, you're expressing thoughts, forming opinions, and connecting emotionally to your words. That's real communication, even if you're the only one listening. If you're forming self-talk, next, bring in voice recording. This might feel strange at first, but it's one of the fastest ways to improve your spoken English. Every day, open your phone, press record, and talk for 1 or 2 minutes about your day, your plans, or your feelings. Don't aim for perfection, just speak. Then play it back. You'll notice which words you're confident with and which ones feel awkward. You'll hear your pronunciation and pacing. Over time, this simple habit helps you speak more clearly and naturally because you're learning to listen to yourself as others would. Another effective technique is reading aloud. Find a short English article, a story, or even a social media post, and read it out loud slowly. This helps you practice pronunciation, sentence flow, and rhythm. It also builds your mouth muscles to say English words more easily. To improve further, record yourself reading and compare it to native speakers. This is a smart way to spot differences and adjust how you speak. Just 5 minutes a day can make a big impact. Now, let's talk about shadowing, one of the most advanced and effective methods. Shadowing means listening to a sentence, usually from a video or podcast, and repeating it immediately after the speaker, copying their tone, speed, and emotion. For example, if you hear, "I'm going to the store," you repeat it with the same energy, "I'm going to the store." You're not just saying the words, you're imitating the music of the language. This helps you sound more fluent and confident. When you combine these techniques with your daily self-talk, you create a rich speaking environment, right in your own home. Speaking no longer feels like practice, it feels like living in English. And when you make these methods part of your daily routine, your fluency grows faster than you ever thought possible. It's not about how many words you know, it's about how often you use them. And with these tools, you'll now use. Once you've built a strong foundation through self-talk, voice recordings, reading aloud and shadowing, you're ready to take your practice to the next level by simulating real-life situations through role-play and question-answer exercises. These techniques train your brain to respond naturally and confidently in everyday conversations, helping you bridge the gap between speaking alone and speaking with others. Role-play is a powerful way to prepare for real-life interactions, even if you're practicing by yourself. Imagine situations like ordering food at a restaurant, shopping for groceries, or asking for help at an airport. You might say, "Hello, I'd like a table for two," or "Can I see the menu, please?" These phrases may sound simple, but by practicing them out loud, you make them automatic, so when the time comes to use them in real life, they roll off your tongue naturally, without hesitation or fear. Let's take another example, a trip to the grocery store. As you walk through your house or pretend to browse shelves, speak the way you would if you were really there. "I need to buy some vegetables. Where is the milk section? Do I have enough money?" By imagining and practicing full interactions, you're not only reinforcing vocabulary, but also training your mind to think quickly and clearly in English. These scenarios simulate real conversations, giving you mental scripts to use when you actually encounter similar moments. In addition to role-playing, question and answer practice is one of the best ways to build conversational fluency. Start with simple, everyday questions. "What did I eat for breakfast?" Answer, "I had toast and eggs." Ask, "What do I need to do today?" And respond, "I need to clean the house and call my friend." Practicing these kinds of exchanges helps you think on your feet and form complete thoughts without translating from your native language. You can also get creative with this method. Try asking more open-ended questions like, "How do I feel right now?" or "What did I enjoy about today?" These encourage you to express opinions and emotions in English, skills that are often harder to develop but crucial for natural conversation. The more you ask and answer, the more fluent your internal dialogue becomes, and soon your responses in real conversations will feel just as smooth. To boost this practice even further, combine it with a mirror. Speaking in front of a mirror helps you observe your facial expressions and body language, making your communication more expressive and confident. Tell yourself, "I can speak English. I'm improving every day. I believe in my progress." These affirmations don't just strengthen your mindset, they reinforce your daily speaking habit and remind you that confidence is just as important as vocabulary. By adding role-play and daily question-answer sessions to your practice routine, you're not just speaking English, you're living it. You're creating a world where English becomes your second nat. After building confidence through role-play and question-answer exercises, the final step in your journey to English fluency is turning these speaking practices into a daily habit, a natural part of your lifestyle. By now, you've learned how to speak through self-talk, simulate real-life conversations, and build fluency through repetition. But none of these strategies can truly succeed unless you make them part of your everyday routine. The secret to lasting improvement isn't found in intensity, it's found in consistency. You don't need to spend hours each day to become fluent. In fact, short and regular speaking sessions, 5 to 10 minutes at a time, can create more lasting results than occasional long study marathons. Think of your speaking practice like brushing your teeth. It's something small you do daily, not something you wait for motivation to do once a week. For example, set a simple goal. Speak English aloud for 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before bed. That's already 10 minutes of speaking every day, and over a month, it adds up to real progress. One powerful method to stay consistent is to keep a daily English diary. Every evening, write just 3 to 5 sentences about your day in English, then read them out loud. For instance, "Today I felt tired, I worked a lot, I spoke English for 10 minutes. I'm proud of myself." This combines writing, thinking, and speaking in one simple activity. Over time, you'll see how much your vocabulary, sentence structure, and confidence grow. Another smart technique is to use reminders. Set a daily alarm on your phone that says, "Speak English now." When it rings, stop what you're doing and talk for a minute or two. Describe your surroundings, your plans, your thoughts, whatever comes to mind. These small moments are powerful. They help create a habit loop in your brain that makes English speaking a natural, expected part of your day. You can also make your environment more English-friendly. Change your phone and apps to English, label objects around your home with sticky notes, or post your favorite English phrases on the wall. These visual cues keep the language present and remind you to speak. When you pass by a note that says window, you might say, "I'm opening the window now. It's windy outside." These tiny moments build fluency piece by piece. Finally, always remember your reason for learning English. Whether it's for a job, travel, study, or personal growth, keep that motivation close. Some days you may feel tired or discouraged, but your habit will carry you through. Fluency doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from showing up every day and speaking, even if you make mistakes. In the end, your journey to fluency is not measured by how many words you know, but by how often you use them. Speak daily, trust the process, celebrate small wins, and remember, each word you say brings you one step closer to the confident, fluent speaker you're becoming.